The key here that we shouldn't miss is this, and I'm going to explain this from the text. The Bible says in Genesis 27, Jacob, they asked Jacob, Isaac asked Jacob, who are you? Who are you? And Jacob answered, I'm Esau, your firstborn. The key, what Jacob was really saying was, I'm your firstborn. Jacob was saying, I'm your firstborn. If he could, I'm very sure if there was a video of us watching that, he would say something like this, Esau, your firstborn. The key, the big lie here is not the name of Esau, because it doesn't matter who Esau is. The blessing of the firstborn is what he really wants. That is why when Esau, on the other hand, comes and Jacob asks him, who is this? He says, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. So the name Esau or Jacob doesn't really matter. The issue here is what we've come for is the firstborn blessing. I've come for the firstborn blessing. Jacob came for the firstborn blessing. Now, what is the firstborn blessing? The firstborn blessing, according to the old times, was that the firstborn will get 66%, two-thirds of the estate of the father. And the reason for this was because if a man had 7 children and he split his inheritance between the 7 people, what would happen is that his name would dissipate and his wealth are split into 7 pieces. But if he gives 66% or two-thirds of his estate to one firstborn and the rest of the family camp underneath that firstborn, his lineage will continue and his name will continue to go. So the firstborn blessing, the firstborn was a title rather than just who came first. It was a title. And that was the key here. Jacob was saying, I deserve this title. I'm the one that you should give this title. But guess what? Jacob didn't even know to the extent he was lying. Because really, there's only one firstborn. The Bible says Jesus is our firstborn. He is God's firstborn. That's why every time he will say, my father, and they wanted to stone him for it. Why did they want to stone him? Because when you say my father, when you refer to Yahweh, when you refer to Yahweh as my father, you are saying you are equal with him. The Bible will say that often the firstborn son will be able to wear the father's signet ring and be able to trade on behalf of the father. So when you see me, you have seen my father, Jesus said. Jesus will often say this. So Jesus was the real firstborn, and he receives the firstborn blessing. But guess what? See what happens here. Jacob dressed up as a firstborn in order to steal the blessing that he could never steal. Christ dressed up as us in order that we may become firstborns. Do you get that? Christ came down in the form of a man to die on the cross and take upon the curse that was meant for the rest. He shed away his firstborn status in order to make us firstborns.